For fuck's sake, what we gonna do, what we gonna do? For fuck's sake, the world's gone mad and I'm sharing it with you. For fuck's sake, so sit right down, grab a glass of wine, maybe a cup of tea and some chocolates and join me for another For Fuck's Sake. Down by the Sally Gardens, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Gardens on little snow white feet. She bid me take life easy as the grass grows on the wheel. But I, being young and foolish, with her did not agree. In a field down by the river, my love and I did stand, and on my leaning shoulder she laid her snow white hand. She bid me take life easy as the leaves grow on the trees. But I was young and foolish, and now I'm full of tears. Down by the Sally Gardens, my love and I did meet. She crossed the Sally Gardens on little snow white feet. She bid me take life easy as the leaves grow on the trees. But I, being young and foolish, with her did not agree. Yes, I was young and foolish, and with her did not agree.
You can clap, Matt. Can I hear it? Woo! Woo! Oh, my Lord. What can I say? That is one of my absolute all-time. Let me see if I can't. Yeah, I can. One of my all-time favorite classic songs from way, 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 way back. And there is my sister. I hope you enjoyed my pizzicato version of the Sally Gardens. I truly want to. Hang on, someone's calling me. Let's see if there's a problem. No, it's spam. It's spam. Fuck them. Fuck them and fuck them. Welcome to For Fuck's Sake. It's a right Irish For Fuck's Sake. It's an Odyssey. Yes, it's my adventures in Ireland with my darling sister Susan. And of course, I had to start with one of my favorite pieces of music. Why? Because our dad, Susan, you know this so well, would play this to us so much, the Benjamin Britten version of this Irish classic, the Sally Gardens, because, of course, in true Welsh form, he would sing us to sleep and comfort us with the most depressing music in the world. That's what the Welsh have in common with the Irish. I describe them as the Irish without the fun. But yes, I was in Ireland. I had the most incredible time. Today, we are going on a photographic journey, an odyssey with me, your hostess with the mostest love of green things. It's true. Forget all this shit and the lipstick and everything. I actually like to be just, well, near some glamping, please. I just need to be I need luxury. I'm sorry. I'm just pretending, aren't I? You know that I'm not that kind of, I'm not somebody who's going to be, I'm not somebody who's going to be down with I'm not going to get dirty. I'm not going camping. But I do suddenly turn it into an outdoors woman. You'll see this very soon. You'll see what happens. My time in Ireland. So let us start. Now, Matt Midland here with me today. Matt, he has helped me put together my photographic odyssey through Ireland. It comes as a great shock to all of us because when you say the word, the place, the name, Ireland, you don't immediately go, oh, sunshine. South of France, Saint-Tropez. You don't, but actually, as it turned out, sorry, there's my headphones, I do treat all my things with such care. I have to say, it was like being in the south of France. Okay, it wasn't quite that hot, but it was blistering for Ireland. And because it's so clean and so natural and so amazing, it was quite a lot for a redhead such as I. So I'm going to take you through, I took so many photographs, it's ridiculous, but I'm going to take you around where my sister lives. Sue, join me. Don't be too horrified, but it is beautiful. I'm not going to like impose on your personal life or anything. So don't worry. But what I do want you to see is the beauty of West Cork. Yes, because what we're talking is like Bantry. We're talking Bantry. We're talking about West Cork. If you've never been to Ireland, you Americans, if you don't know it, and people in Britain who haven't been to Ireland, let me tell you, it is the most beautiful place on God's earth, whoever God might be, but you know what I'm saying. And when the sun comes out, you can't quite believe what you're seeing. I'm going to share that with you because as it was, I think the sun comes out for a week and then, Bob's your uncle, and then it rains. So I was there. I brought the weather. It was incredible. So join me now for a fantastic, as I call it, the Odyssey. Why? Because James Joyce, all that kind of stuff. But join me now. Here we go. Ready, Matt? We're going to do it. We're going to try and make this work. So I'm going to start by, basically you need to know, there you go, what does Ireland look like? Now here we have a quite serious map to give you an idea of where West Cork is. I've drawn, the red arrow is right there. I had to throw in a leprechaun. And that is actually, that I think that's true to size, is it not? No, it's not. No. That's way too big, a leprechaun. By the way, Susan and I did actually visit with Leland Sklar and Pedro Segundo, the Leprechaun Museum of Ireland in Dublin. That's another conversation altogether, but I do love a good leprechaun. So that's where West Cork is. And we're going now to Bantry Bay. Now let's start looking at these photographs. I don't know if you know a lot about Ireland, but let's face it, there you go. This to me, can you believe this? Can you believe this? And by the way, iPhone should be giving me phones for what I'm about to do. The 13, please, Pro. Thank you. Now, this is your vista right there. This is what Ireland looks like. If you've ever seen any, films, we're all in love with the films, aren't we, with the Uilleann pipes and everything. I was going to try and get an Uilleann pipe going. Hang on, maybe I can get a sound. Hang on, let's see if I can get a sound going. Hang on, here we go. Hang on. Bit more Welsh, really, isn't it? But you get the vibe. So there they are, the beautiful fields. It's green. Look at that. Now we're talking the bays of Bantry Bay, around that area. It's absolutely exquisite. You've got your water, you've got your green, you've got your mountains. And as you saw in that photograph before, you have a lot of stone. Stone whitewashed buildings, houses, farmhouses, walls. Everything is stone, 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 stone. I mean, you might have seen those stone walls in different parts of Ireland. That really is the look of it, you know, just stone upon stone. We're not talking brickwork here, we're talking stone. It's a magical thing. But this is the look, and this is how I experienced the sun. Has anybody ever heard the word sun? And now let's move forward to this other look. Harbours. Look at this. Here's a good example. We've got a tiny little harbour right here. These are all over the place, this look. Tiny little whitewashed stone cottage in the background. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You could eat off that visual, couldn't you? It's amazing. Bit grey, but hey, that was the sun was there. It was behind the grey. And then the next shot, let's have a, oh my God. So now what you see is dried kelp and seaweed on the stone. Now, stones, Matt, stone is the theme of this show. Stone, I look good with this. Look at what I'm wearing right now. I look like I came as a stone today. And the sun, just to add a bit more, but look at it. The water, the mountains, the green, the stone, the kelp, the seaweed, and not a fucking person in sight. Just your big-mouthed hostess here making a right old malarkey noise and upsetting the local animals. Anyway, next we go on. Let's have a look at, now look at this. There they are. 'Tis himself and herself. Worst accent ever. That is the back of my sister, because I don't want to intrude. You know, I don't want to, like, you know, they're famous. And they are in that area. So here we are looking over the whole Bantry area here. We are right now. And we have my fabulous brother-in-law, Dave Elwood. My sister, Susan Owen. And there they are looking out over it. Isn't it beautiful? Do you like the positioning now? I even gave it a border. It was that good. But, I mean, it's just like, okay, they're still wearing jackets. You know, don't nitpick. But look at that fucking view. That is a fairly typical thing. It's the boaties there looking out over the boats and the yachts. And I mean, it's just magical. And I think you can tell by that, the peace, the serenity. It is amazing. I got a bit arty-farty. I couldn't help myself, Matt. I got arty-farty and I started using my iPhone. Yes, you can send me the 13 now. Apple. So I got a bit arty-farty with it all. There you go. I started to do something crazy and actually spend a lot of time really processing and doing things. Now, this is a typical look. You see this in the walls. This blew me away. Ireland being such a Catholic country, although no more really. I mean, it's so ahead as Texas is going backwards and banning abortion and everything else in between and all women's rights. There's Ireland, you know, coursing ahead, doing all the right things, pro-abortion, same-sex marriages, all that kind of stuff, LGBTQ, everything. They're so ahead of the game, and it's like, what the fuck happened? Anyway, there you have. Bring it back, please, Matt. I need to see a bit more of this. What you see in the wall, like the turn of a road, and you'll see something built into the wall itself, stone wall, and what you see, it's the Madonna. There she is. It's a shrine, and it's for travelers, and it's for you to be safe and go by your way. And then when you would pass it, you do a bit of the old, and you'd put something on it. I'm not Catholic. I'm a pagan, but you do something and you genuflect or something, or just, I don't know. It could be Jewish. I don't know. But here we have, there she is. There it is herself in there waiting for you. Now, moving on. Next, please, Matt. Look at that. Now, that day, we had kelp, we had seaweeds, we had stones, we had boats, and then there was this blue hue, and I went a bit nuts, I give you that, but because of the distance, there was this blue light upon the bay, and I call that Blue Mountain. And if you need any prints, please go to Sue Flood, because she's an actual professional. Thank you very much. So next, we see another in my Blue Odysseys. Oh, good God. Come on, Sue. Come on, Sue Flood. Give me some fucking... Even Matt went, oh, when he saw this one. Didn't you, Matt? Pretty damn good, yeah. So this is the Cove. Here's the Cove, as I call it. The Cove. But what can you say? Where else? I've never seen quite... Except, you know, Northern California has a bit of this too, where you see the trees going all the way down to the beach is quite something, and it's a gorgeous look. It's really quite profound. But that to me is such a look of Ireland, such a look of this area. Next we have like a feisty little fishing boat, I believe. There he is, Mr. Feisty. I love these things. It's no wonder that things like tugboats and tiny engines, they animate them and turn them into, children's animations, because you can see what that little man there, how he could be an animated character. He'd have a really nice, big, thick West Cork brogue. Be great. Nobody could understand it, but it would be great. It would be absolutely great. It would be marvelous. So there you have that. Next, Matt, what do we have? Oh, yeah. Now, just around the corner from the shrine of herself, I mean, a absolutely dilapidated post box. Is it even used anymore? Sue, you can tell me about this, whether this is true. But that is gorgeous. I mean, things that that used to be, that you take for granted. There's something about Ireland, if you haven't been there, that feels like you've gone back in time, and the things that you miss and the things that you yearn for, and simple stuff like, ooh, a post box. We have loads of those, we have red ones all over Britain, etc. But this is absolutely the green. It's just gorgeous. It made me so happy taking a photo of that. Now, what I didn't expect, as we'll see in the next photo, was there to be so much just growing. I mean, my fingers, look at this. On every road, everywhere we walked, there were blackberries, heaving blackberries. I mean, I yearn for the time when I used to be able to eat blackberry tart, but of course I can't anymore just because I've given up sugar. So that's fucked up. These things didn't need sugar. I was eating them off the bushes, which were everywhere. My fingers were black blue the whole time, and it was just... I had my tongue looked like a chow. It was fantastic. And there you have some of Ireland's best natural wild blackberries. And then, of course, the thing that surprised me the most, I think, was I haven't seen butterflies like I saw in Ireland. I mean, I have not seen... I see them here, and there's California butterflies. But, in around London and down in Kent, there used to be... I remember when I was a kid, there would be bloody butterflies amassing, especially around certain plants, certain flowers. They go crazy. Red admirals, peacocks. But this was something that, my sister's garden was full of them, but this is just a splendid thing to be able to see. And then speaking of that, then here goes a couple of things from my sister's garden. A hydrangea the size of my head. Now, I don't even know how this happens, but supposedly throughout the British Isles and Ireland, it was a bumper crop. It was a bumper hydrangea crop this year. And I swear to God, literally the size of my head. It's astounding and utterly gorgeous. And then after that, we have, I do believe, and now my sister can tell me if this is wrong, but I think what we have here is a Bantry rose. Now, I hope that's right, but I think this is a Bantry rose. And here's the amazing thing. It smelt of rose. Is it because I spent too long in America? But when you buy roses, look at these gorgeous roses. Rien de smell, rien de pong. Nothing. This not only smelled like you literally could spray it on yourself with just crushed rose, but the texture was velvet. So that was exciting. I know it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But those are the things that suddenly you think, oh my God, that rose doesn't. This is what I describe as being a very exciting moment for me. Now, not only are there plants everywhere and gorgeous things, but animals. There's my sister with a donkey. Now, donkeys are a big deal with my sister and I. Why? Because when she was a little girl, she used to sing, "If I had a donkey and it wouldn't go, would I ever beat it? No, 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 no." And I would applaud because it would move me to tears. We'd all cry. Donkeys are, they are just profound. Look at that creature. Is that not, Matt, the most beautiful thing? Look at him, her, him. What a joy. Just, beautiful. So lots and lots of animals, but none more popular with me. For Sue, I think it is a donkey. For me, well, we all know my love of the pig. And it was at a local art gallery, coffee shop, Nicky Nacky Noo, arts, beautiful outdoor garden. I mean, real everything, organic, exquisite. I mean, just profoundly moving to see places and people living this kind of, this life where it's all from the land, the connection with the land, and they're doing it right and they're doing it healthily, and that was extraordinary. And so we went to this place and sat in and drank coffee, but really all I wanted to do, apart from climbing up the hill to get to it, was to meet the pigs in the piggery. They're not there for any other reason than to be loved. They have lots of room and tons of fieldage to be able to roam around and snuffle in, and they eat buns and leftover things from the cafes. So I did take a little. I did make a little film. So I think I should share this with you right now, Matt, please. What could be better than going to visit your sister in West Cork? I tell you what could be better is going to the local coffee shop, art gallery up on top of a mountain climbing, and finding that there are 2 speciality pigs. If you don't know, I'm in love with pigs. Look at this, it's a petting pig. This little gentleman here is just having his afternoon snack of leftover scones and buns from the bakery. And then this lady over here, let's have a look at her. She's in the, she ran off with some carrots, and look at that face. Yes, oh no, and it's so good seeing my sister. Oh, there they go. I mean, I'm sorry, that is perfection. And heaven. And then there is the absolute wit of the Irish. It was so nice to be amongst people who weren't snowflakes, and actually were kind of very relaxed about laughing at everything themselves, everyone else, everything in life. And at that particular cafe was this sign that just made me go, thank God. Have you got, yeah, there it is. Yeah. It just made me feel pigs and that. It just made me feel so good. Now, what a relief. So the weather continues. So I think by day 3, we're into day 3 now, I think. So my sister said, let's go to this incredible island, Garnish, which is basically was made into an Italianate garden in the middle of Ireland. An Italianate garden, yeah. You get on a ferry. How much fun can that be? It's an incredible thing, but it's by some bonkers Victorian man. It always is. Who decided that he would create this incredible garden on an island, as you do, with follies. So we get on in the blue pool, I think it was. Look at this. Another one of my would-be serious photograph type person thing. Anyway, so we get on this fantastic little ferry. Have you got that there? Yeah, here it goes. Look. I mean, I swear to God, I feel like I'm in the 1940s or something, or I'm in an Agatha Christie film, something like that. So we pass by this house. Now, look at this photo. It's amazing. You see that? Right in the middle is the yacht. Now, to the left of the yacht is a white house. That was the house that belonged to Hollywood's most famous Irish woman, and that is Maureen O'Hara, the gorgeous flame-haired Maureen O'Hara. Think The Quiet Man. And she lived there with her pilot husband, who would land his seaplane on the water in front, in the bay, because they owned a couple of islands in front of that. On the right-hand side, you can see that gorgeous spread. That's a castle right there. I mean, it's just, you can't make this stuff up. It is so beautiful. So off we went to Garnish. We landed on the island, and guess what? It's not just an Italianate, garden, as in when it meant Italian, it means porticos, it means temples. Look at this. I mean, it's just insane. So we climb up to this temple that is up on top of a hill. Have you got that, Matt? And it's absolutely there, look at that. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is Ireland, by the way. If you've just joined me, this is not actually Switzerland or Austria or Greece or Italy. This is Ireland. And then, there's a photograph of my sister and Dave. Look at that. It literally looks like they're looking out of from Mount Olympus. It is so beautiful. That is Ireland. It is absolutely extraordinary. And then in addition, of course, it's got these campaniles. There you go. Campaniles with bee-filled, that's another thing I'm missing and haven't seen for a long time, bee-filled, bursting borders with beauty, and more alliteration, please, against these walled gardens, as you can see. I mean, it was an absolutely astonishing thing, I must say. Then now moving forwards on another night, I think it might have been night 4. So you have to tell me exactly how long I'm going here and how much I've got this right. Is it around about night 4? I think it was. Or night 5, because I was there for 8 days. We go to a fabulous place to eat, like 40 minutes away or something up in the hills. Hob, I think it was. And we go there, and it's an outdoor place because everybody's doing the right thing and eating outside. And now the weather had dropped. I mean, the weather had changed slightly. You might notice by what I'm wearing now that the weather had slightly changed. Do you have that? Yes. There it is. Now, I want to thank my sister for providing me with the multiple layers that allowed me. Look at me, it's so embarrassing. LAX on my fecking hat. Bringing a little bit of America there. Bad taste. Now, from that position, I was not only warm and happy and just didn't want to speak to anybody or ever take my clothes off, but I saw this vision. Yeah, see those pretty coloured houses there? So very Irish. Now, in the window, I thought, hang on a second. Is that what I think it is? Now, can we go in? Yes, there he is. It is himself. A golden retriever hanging out the window, watching life go by, as you do, with a tiny little, he's got an injured paw and he's got a tiny little sock bandage on it, which actually looked more like he was wearing a boxing glove because he'd done 10 rounds with a Rottweiler downstairs. And it was just, I swear, the whole thing was just beautiful. And the doggy just made it the most perfect night I can remember having for a long time. Now, round the corner we walked because Sue and Dave said, let's walk through the high street because it's marvellous. Now, look at this. If you're going to have a butcher's, and by the way, the real name for a butcher is a victualler. And if you're going to have a butcher, you better have a hand-painted sign that not only shows you what the animal is, but gives you a sense that you are actually eating an animal, and it kind of makes you a little bit more aware of, that it's a living thing and to respect it, and that's how it looks, and that's what you're eating, as opposed to something that comes in a plastic cover in a supermarket. That the disconnect. This is what I mean. There's a gorgeous connect to everything here, very close to the land, and I love it. Now, further on around the corner, my sister said there's this gorgeous viaduct. We walked to that, and oh my god, it wasn't just a viaduct. It's a viaduct with swans. I mean, and they come in a pair, so you get all emotional. I tear up. There they are, Mr. and Mrs. Swan. To be honest with you, I was kind of scared to go too close to them because they can actually be quite a fury. They're not like geese. Those things will come at you, take your face off. But these, you got to be careful with the swan. And so there it is early in the evening. And of course, if you turn around, the view from there, of course, is more stone build. There you go. More stone buildings with lovely little boaties. Wish the cars hadn't been there. Still, though, you get the look, the stone, water look. And by the time we'd finished walking around, it was night, but it was summer, the end of summer. So the sky was cobalt blue. And against the viaduct, look at that. I mean, crazy and so serene. Yeah, I think you're picking up. I hope you're picking up the quiet, the serenity, the absolute stark and gorgeous beauty of this place is really something else. Now, the next day, we went off to a place called the Goat's Path. And the Goat's Path, as it turned out, of course, I was very, very connected to that, being a Capricorn and everything. So everything goat-wise kind of I find very tempting and satisfies me in a great way. What I didn't expect to see was this wooden sculpture. Oh, yes, it's me. But it's not really me, but it is a goat. And the goat seems to be humping a stone tower. It's a stone tower. But it is what heralds the goat's path. Maybe he's using it to see up over the hills. I don't know. But I think it looks more like something hideously pagan and sexual in nature. Anyway, moving on. The vistas. Check this out. Look at that. I mean, good grief. And when I say empty, as in the sheer empty, there's no sound of airplanes, there's not the sound of a car unless they're going over the top of you or a tractor's killing you. But you know what I'm saying? There is nothing to see except beauty, and it's so thrilling. And then when you get over this hill to the other side, here we've got another one of those unbelievable vistas. So Irish, the little white stone house. Yes, looking over to the bay on exactly the other side. And that is what it's so extraordinary about West Cork, is that you're going from one, from tiny strips of land, higgledy-piggledy inlets, all these gorgeous bays from one side to another. So down the road we went, and this is my favorite photograph of the entire trip, because here we are, me, my sister, beloved sister Sue, and beloved brother-in-law Dave. Above my head is a mountain called the Hungry Hill, because there's a kind of indentation. Can you see it in it? And it's like a mouth, so they call it the Hungry Hill. And I know there's another one just by Dave. I'm trying to remember what the hell that was called. It'll come to me in a minute. Maybe my sister will. Sue, tell me what that's called again. But how happy do we look? And also, well, windblown. Yes, I know, but look at the sun. But how Celtic. Every day I looked more and more sort of Welsh and Celtic. I know it's the red hair and everything, but it wasn't that. It's the no makeup. It's the freckles. It's the just kind of natural thing. It's the antithesis of me today with the old lippy on, but honestly, I just love that. So now, finally, let's take you to Bantry, because that's the area that we were in. That's where we were in. So let's have a look at Bantry Bay, because quite frankly, that looks like Saint-Tropez, doesn't it, Matt? I mean, it's bonkers. When I looked at that afterwards, I thought that looks like Saint-Tropez, with all the boats and the yachts and everything. You can't believe that's West Cork. You cannot believe it. That is Bantry Bay. There we are. So we went for a little walk. Oh, it's the sugar. Thank you, darling. So the one above Dave's head was the sugar. There's a sugar loaf everywhere, isn't there? The more sugar loaves than we've had hot dinners. Thank you, Sue. So, but now what Saint-Tropez does not have, let me be honest with you, maybe it does, but it won't smell like this one does, is a good Irish pub. And this is what a good Irish pub looks like. That is correct. Ma Murphy's. Everything about it. Look at that. Come on. Now, Ma Murphy's is not just a pub. It's also a grocer's. Yes. So the front of it, wish I'd taken a photograph of that. The front of it will sell you, your Kellogg's and your sugar and your flours and your biscuits and things and milk, pint of milk. And then the back of it looks like this. And really, this is what an Irish pub is meant to look like inside. Can you smell the beer, Matt? Yeah. And honestly, when I walked in there, I don't even drink. You can see the beer on. Well, yeah. Let's hope it's beer. So when I walked in, and I'm not a beer person, I'm not even into that stuff. But I swear to God, when you walk into those places, it's a good smell. It smells good. There's something amazing about it. I don't understand it. But anyway, that's the beauty of a good Irish pub, is what I can say. So now, finally, we went for our final celebration. Are you still with me? Are you enjoying this? Yes, I think you are. And we went to this incredible place called Blair's Cove. Now, Blair's Cove is a moorstone. It is a stone. It's barn, it's outhouses, it's stables. It belonged to it's part of a huge house. There's a side of the house. And there you have all these kind of beautiful sort of fortified walls all the way around it. It's a marvel. And of course, it looks over the bay, and this twinkly, look at this. This is, oh my God. That's how it looks. I mean, now I feel like I'm in Sweden. It's ridiculous how many places this reminded me of. But we, of course, look at the stone. Stone is the theme. Yes, it is. It is stone here, people. And there you have my sister and my brother-in-law inside, looking on at this incredible place. If you ever go to West Cork, find yourself going to, please, Blair's Cove. It's an amazing place. But the food is Moorish and ridiculous and incredible. And that's what you're looking at when you're inside. How marvelous. But the even more wonderful thing about this place is that on every table was this. Here's the sense of humour, the wit coming through. This is something, it's a product of a Cork company. They're gin makers, but it turns out, don't ask me how or why, but the gin makers who've been, of course, had a problem like because of COVID, as everybody has, in making stuff and creating stuff, and their sales are down and staff are down, they actually started to make this herd immunity hand sanitizer. Bertha's Revenge, is that what it is? It is Bertha's Revenge, which is actually normally a gin company. But God damn it, I wanted to buy this so badly. And I will when I go back. Believe me, it's a wonderful thing. So that was the end of this remarkable trip. And really, to see my sister and to see Ireland in sunshine. And it was a truly, truly remarkable thing. And at least flying back to London, you know, I was sobbing and I was really upset and crying as I always do. And the American man next to me with no fucking sense of humor whatsoever. Sorry, but he didn't. It was Texan. What are the chances? Anyway, he was more nervous because I think he thought either I thought I had COVID or I was going to rush at the cockpit. I don't know what he thought, but obviously I'd left home or someone behind. But he was very nervous. But I took this photograph out of the window of London. Coming back, it cheered me up. It cheered me up seeing the beautiful Thames, winding her beautiful way through London. You can see there that big mass of green at the top. Well, that's St. James's Park, that's Green Park. The round bit at the top is the end of the Mall and Buckingham Palace, and there you can see all the way going through the gorgeous Thames, the Eye, and everywhere that I was. Remember when I was talking last Sunday about my London Odyssey? So that kind of cheered me up a bit, but also it shocked me because I'm looking down at nothing but building, humanity, asphalt, concrete, and I missed the green, and I still do. What can I say? But you know, every time I look back at these next two photos of my sister and I, in our final day, our final hike on the last day, and that tiny bit of sunshine that then turned to rain almost immediately, as if Ireland knew I was leaving and started crying, knowing that I was going to go. How happy am I? There, look at us. Here we are, overlooking the sea, the bay, the beauty, and even more curiously perfect. How about this photo of two pagan gals standing amidst a pagan standing stone area? There they are, the standing stones, truly ancient pagan symbols. I don't know, there's something so right about that, but I just look at that and I feel, I feel very much like I really, really am a bit of a witch, but ultimately I just don't really need to wear makeup, but I will for you because honestly, it doesn't work that well under the lights without it. So, many, many thanks to my gorgeous sister, Susan. Sue, thank you for being such a great sister, but also for making my stay so marvelous. I'll be back in November and there better be some fucking good weather. We know that's a joke. We know that's not even real or believable. We can't even begin to say that that's going to happen. So, at the end of our Irish Odyssey, I bid you farewell, Ireland. The end. Can I hear some applause, please? Can I hear some applause? Thank you. Thank you. It is the end. That is the end. That is the end. So, now there were two creatures that were really, really, really kind of waiting for me and wondering where Mum was. I mean, they were wondering. I mean, they were just looking out. They were looking out everywhere, wondering, where is Mum? Were they though, Matt? Yes, they were. And this is a real turnaround for the books, because normally he's in front and she's where he is. But in this particular vision, she's looking off into the hinterland, wondering, where is my mum? Where is my fucking mother? Yes, Aretha and Franklin were waiting for me. And funnily enough, that is a perfect segue into Franklin pulled me aside. Franklin pulled me aside in my imagination, and he shared with me a very, very important message and a piece of information that I didn't know about. Can we roll that, please, Matt? Well, you know, my friend Franklin, he just let me know. He just told me something I was unaware of. And that is that, in fact, it was Neil Greenberg, yes, my label head's birthday on the 23rd. How did I not know this? Anyway, what he suggested... Okay, he didn't suggest anything. He just basically needs a bone. But what I think he would have suggested, if he could think, was, why don't we sing Happy Birthday to Neil? Again, why don't you sing and I'll eat the bone. So here it goes. Here we go, Frankie. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Neil Greenberg. Happy birthday to you. You love that deep note. He loves the low notes. Who doesn't? Happy birthday, Neil. Ah, he does like to keep a very, very clean diary. He does. He's the one that knows the birthdays, the little pieces of information that, that make you a good friend. No, sorry, that's Pam. Shit. No, that's Pam. It's Pam that does that, Matt. It's not Franklin. Sorry. Sorry, Pam. Anyway, we're almost at the end of our Irish Odyssey. All I can say, and yes, happy birthday, Neil Greenberg. Seriously. Love you, darling. But what I can say is what a difference now being back in America, it feels like. Having been somewhere where 82 to 84% of people were vaccinated, you know how different that feels, America? I can't begin to tell you. Everybody's still wearing their masks indoors. Everybody's being respectful. Everybody's doing the right thing. But honest to goodness, the difference in feeling amongst people and how much more secure you feel knowing that that level of people are vaccinated as compared to, what is it in America, Matt? It's not very high. Maybe 60 in some places. In others, not even. Come on. Like I said before, Ireland is now the leader in Europe, and it's showing us the way. This is as we are becoming, like they said the other day, the Taliban has come to Texas. Well, as that is occurring over here now, we've got Ireland that was always seen as being like, the poor cousin that was ambling along behind with all its wretched, old-fashioned Catholicism. No more. We need to take a page out of Ireland's book, let me tell you. So hopefully, at some point, the endemic that the rest of the world is, well, Europe anyway, we're feeling, will come here and maybe it'll stop being a pandemic for those people. Anyway, I'm not gonna taint this beautiful show. I'm not when there's dogs in it. All I can tell you is that is the end of our little Odyssey. I am gonna leave you with one more song. Of course I fucking am. Who do you think I am? That would be ridiculous. But I just want to say that I will be reuniting with the fabulous Leland Sklar next Sunday. He will have his own mic. Thank you. Yes. And we will be talking about our lives so far and what's been going on the road. He's been away, he's been around and everything else. We're going to find some new things to do. I'm going to write some more songs. Yes, I feckin' am. And we're going to be reunited. And it feels so good. Until then, I can but leave you with a song that a long time ago I wrote about being in Fiji, about being in a place where I felt the warmth and the kindness and the beauty of it because of its simplicity and the fact that it reminded me of what matters in life. Yeah, I bet he's got a fucking huge dick. Mufflers are what matters in life. So all I can say is that being in Ireland kind of reset me. It reset me because it kind of reminded me how, the rush for everything, the beliefs, although you can't do very much anymore in COVID anyway, but that sense of like, I gotta do that thing, which is coming back. It's coming back. Of course it is. And a lot of people have decided that they don't want to return to work and they don't want to return to life as it was before because they don't like it that much, all that stress. Well, you know what? That was a reminder again of like just resetting after a few weeks of great work but stress. Reset. And so this song that I wrote about being in Fiji actually strangely, magically makes as much sense about Ireland because Ireland actually was hot and warm and kind, but more importantly, the meaning of this song is the warmth and friendship and kindness of that place and of the people and, of course, mostly of my sister and brother-in-law. So until next Sunday when I will be hitting you hard between the eyes with a Leland Sklar, I wish you a very, very happy Sunday. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your Sunday with me. Your hostess with the mostest love of Ireland and lack of makeup, let's be honest, Judith Owen, saying a right, very, very green, for fuck's sake, leaving you with this song of mine, Island Wind. Love you guys. Oh, warm wind, island wind, took me across the sea. 'Twas a warm wind, an island wind, that did melt this heart in me. And now I am in colder climes, with all my cares and fears. It's a warm wind, an island wind, that whispers in my ear. Hey, 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 hey. Seamless. You're a tired girl, city girl, who lives across the sea. Lives with every single day's you're lost and missing all that's free. Like the rocky reefs and floating underneath a starry, starry sky. Oh, tired girl, city girl, come back before you die. And one day I'll return to the kindness that I've known. And maybe when I do, I'll have kindness of my own. And they will laugh the sweetest laugh and hold me by my hand. And I won't have to talk that much, and they will understand. It's a warm wind, an island wind, that took me across the sea. 'Twas a warm wind, an island wind, that did melt this heart in me. And with many miles between us now, her voice comes oh to me. Yes, she calls me. Yes, she calls me. Odyssey. Yes, she calls me, my salty friend. Come home, come home to me.